What is there a time and place for, index investing rather than like an active strategy?
Yeah, that's kind of the two different concepts, and let me just describe those really quickly. So, active management, and you can have active management in different types of vehicles. You can have active management in what's called a mutual fund, where they're buying stocks and bonds, and you got a manager that is in charge of that, or a group of managers that's trying to, research and pick the best ones. And that tends to be more expensive because you got to pay for that management. And then you have this concept of the index, which really started back in 1975. Was started by Vanguard John Bogle, and so the concept there is they would just buy. The first one really was just buy the S&P 500. So there's no manager, there's no real thought about it. Whenever the Standard and Poor's changes a stock, they have their own screening system. Then they change it on the index. And you have now, though, filled in a whole bunch of gaps in between active management and true passive management. You have some of these indexes that are rebalanced every quarter, and there's a whole bunch of different things that happen. But yeah, actually, one of the things, in my opinion, if you're trying to build money and you don't have a lot of money yet, would be to take a look at something like the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index. It's the ticker symbol is VTI for the exchange traded fund. And we use this. We have a big position there. I really like it. And what they do is buy almost every stock on the U.S. stock market. And it gives you great diversification. You don't have international there, but you can also, if you wanted to, add the Vanguard Total, international stock market. VXUS is the symbol. We don't have a big exposure to that right now, but it is something that's starting to move right now. So it's something we're looking at. But um, we do have it. But nonetheless, so those are like two stock market pieces that you could use. If you wanted some, more bond in there to bring down the risk, you can use the Vanguard Total Bond Market Index, which is BND. And if you wanted international bonds, you can use the Vanguard Total Bond International Bond Index, BNDX. So those four pieces, right? You can make a really simple portfolio with a very, very small amount of money, even hundreds of dollars, and then just keep adding to it and building it up. Over time, as you start to get more and more assets, things get more complex, and there's more things that you can do. But yeah, when you're first starting off, actually, the index concept, and especially in my opinion, the Vanguard index concepts, those four ETFs would be a great place to start. You can usually pay, nothing to buy them. The internal costs on these indexes are really, really, really low. I mean, the cost is negligible, and you can buy, I think there's over 3,500 different stocks in the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index. That's essentially the whole US stock market. You can buy all of that with one purchase, aligned by capitalization, for free at most places where they don't have any ticket charges to buy that. So I really like indexing. I think it has, a place in the portfolio. We've been doing at least some version of indexing since the 90s. We've been pretty early in that, and really it's been fantastic. I love that now. I still think there's a place when the size of your portfolio gets big enough, that kind of 200, $500,000 to really, diversify out into some other areas, including some actively managed areas, which still can work. But I would start with the indexing.
So you're saying there's like a young investor in their 20s, easiest way is kind of just have it in an index fund and kind of set it and forget for a while and just let it grow. So
Yeah.
just have that monthly deposit and keep going.
Yeah, especially if you're able to add to it. That's super powerful, right? Yes, that would be a really strong strategy. I mean, Warren Buffett says the same thing. He talks about just buying the S&P 500, which you can do through Vanguard's, VOO is the ticker symbol. And so, yeah, no, I think that's a really, really great way to go. Now, if you're really into it and you really want to get into it, there's a lot you can do. A lot of these people that started out in Robinhood last year didn't start with that much money, and they've been doing all kinds of different strategies. But if you're just looking to kind of build some assets and you're really interested in other things in your life, then those indexes that I just give you would be a great place to start. and a really good place to just set it and forget it, as you said, and just keep adding to them. And you don't need to really pay somebody like me up until a point where you really get more complex. You get at 250, 500,000. Then there's things you can do with the portfolio that are worth looking at.